The hush of night settles around you like a soft cloak, pressing gently against your skin. In the distance, a single lantern glows by a wooden gate, its light wavering as a breath of wind carries the scent of pine and distant incense. You step forward, bare feet brushing cool stones each footfall, echoing a subtle reminder of the impermanence in every sound. Nothing beyond this moment matters, only the path before you and the luminous quiet that surrounds it. You walk into a courtyard, the air still, except for the faint rustle of bamboo leaves. Here in this silent embrace, you find yourself drawn to a small weathered statue of the Buddha seated in serene meditation. Moss clings to the base, reminding you that all things shift and change. Impermanence is at the heart of every moment. You pause, fingertips brushing the cool stone, and you feel the gentle truth that nothing lasts forever, neither pleasure nor pain, neither dawn nor dusk. What remains when everything returns to dust? As you continue, you pass an old monk sweeping the courtyard, his movements deliberate and unhurried. The broom glides across the ground, whisking away fallen petals from a cherry tree. He stops, looks up at you, and smiles without words. You realize that in his simple act, sweeping away what has fallen, he embodies mindfulness, each gesture a teaching in attention and presence. Even the most mundane tasks can become gateways to awakening when performed with full awareness. You find a low wooden bench beneath a willow whose branches drift like silent dancers in the moonlight. Sitting down, you close your eyes and breathe. Inhale, notice the cool air filling your lungs. Exhale, release the tension you've carried through the day. With each breath, you sink deeper into the quiet pool of your own awareness. Thoughts may drift by like clouds passing overhead, but you remain the tranquil sky, spacious and undisturbed. What happens when you let go of every story your mind tells? A Zen tale drifts into your mind. A master and student sit by a river, watching leaves float on the current. The student asks, "What is the teacher thinking?" The master replies, "The water thinks nothing. It simply flows." In that answer, you feel the invitation to let your mind flow, no judgments, no grasping. Just the simple movement of consciousness, like water following its course. In the effortless ebb and flow, you discover a gentle ease, a rest that does not resist, but welcomes everything as it arises. In the lantern-lit stillness, you allow yourself to sink into this resting mind, where thoughts arise and dissolve like ripples on the surface of a pond. You are both witness and water clear, reflective, unbound. In this space, you find a soft peace, a reminder that beneath every ripple lies stillness. Pause here now and listen to the subtle rhythm of your own breath. What sound remains when nothing else is spoken? A gentle breeze stirs, carrying the faint echo of temple bells from somewhere beyond the courtyard walls. You rise and follow the sound, stepping across a bridge arched over still water. Beneath koi, glide like living jewels, untroubled by your presence. Their slow, deliberate motion teaches you about non-striving. There is nothing to force, nothing to attain. They simply are moving where they must perfect in each effortless turn. As you watch, you feel the tight coil of your ambitions begin to loosen. What if you could meet each moment without pushing or pulling, but simply letting life unfold? On the far side of the bridge, an ancient pine tree stands sentinel, Its gnarled roots anchor into stone, and its needles whisper secrets you cannot quite hear. Here, the teaching of no self reveals itself. Though the tree seems separate, it shares breath with the earth, water, and sky. You place your hand on its rough bark and feel the pulse of interconnection. Your life, like its rings, is woven into a vast web of countless lives. Who are you apart from everything else? Who remains when every boundary dissolves? You wander through a low archway into a dim hall lined with flickering candles. At the far end, a scroll hangs with calligraphy that reads, "Emptiness is form. Form is emptiness." You step close and trace the characters with your gaze, absorbing the paradox that holds liberation. The world you see is both wholly real and utterly insubstantial. Each flame dances alive, yet impermanent. Each breath you take shapes your reality, yet drifts away never the same. In this paradox, you taste freedom, the freedom to embrace all that arises without clinging or aversion. A faint smile warms your lips as you settle on the tatami floor. A teacher's voice drifts back to you across the years. To hold a cup, you must first empty it. You imagine setting down every heavy expectation and every flicker of doubt, leaving the cup of your mind open and ready to receive whatever comes. In this emptiness, there is space for clarity, compassion, and the gentle unfolding of the present. What might fill your cup now that every burden has been laid aside? With that question resting in your heart, you lie back on soft cushions by a low window. Moonlight streams in painting silver patterns on the floor. You close your eyes once more and sink into the cushion of your breath. Inhale, feel the rise of your chest like a soft drum. Exhale, sense the release, a sigh that carries away every lingering trace of tension. In the vast silence that follows, you are carried by a current deeper than thought, guided by a wisdom that needs no words. Let the night cradle you now, and rest in the gentle truth of what is. A solitary lantern sways as you rise to your feet once more, guiding you toward a narrow cloister where petals drift like pale snow. Each petal's descent is a lesson in surrender, falling freely without protest, finding the earth with grace. You step lightly, imagining yourself as one of those petals. No resistance, no struggle, simply letting go. What would it feel like to release every weight you carry, drifting unnoticed into the stillness below? Ahead, a low stone basin filled with clear water invites your gaze. You kneel and dip your fingers into its surface, sending concentric ripples outward. The circle expands, touches the edge, then dissolves into perfect calm. In that moment, you understand the teaching of dependent origination. Every action, thought, or breath touches all that surrounds it, yet each ripple fades, leaving the water as it was before. You trace the edge of the basin, feeling the cool stone beneath your fingertips, and sense the interwoven dance of cause and effect in your own life. Which ripple will you choose to release into the world? A soft chant drifts through the corridor, ancient syllables vibrating in the air like a heartbeat. You follow the sound to a hidden alcove where 3 monks chant in harmony, voices blending as one. Their unity reminds you of Sangha, the community of practice that supports awakening. Even in solitude, you are never truly alone. The invisible thread of compassion connects you to every being in this vast unfolding. You sit quietly just outside their circle, allowing the chant to wash over you. each repetition anchoring you deeper into presence. How might your life transform when felt as part of this great community of caring? Slipping away from the chance embrace, you find a narrow path lined with wild grasses. Moonlight glints off dew like scattered stars at your feet. With each step, you feel the world soften around you, as though reality itself slows down to match your rhythm. You inhale the scent of damp earth and distant blossoms, and you remember the teaching of interbeing, that your breath mingles with the petals' perfume and the grass's green life. In this quiet communion, there is no separation, only the gentle pulse of oneness. Pause here and listen. Can you hear the silent song that arises when you rest completely in this moment? A distant gong sounds, once its echo resonating through vaulted halls and settling deep within your chest. You follow its call pathways, unfolding like petals as you drift forward, guided by that singular note. Each resonant vibration reminds you of the teaching of right effort, neither forcing progress nor yielding to inertia, but striking the perfect balance just as the gong's tone arises full and clear when struck, neither too soft nor too hard. You linger in that balanced space, poised between action and rest, and feel the harmony of mindful striving. Beyond a carved wooden door, you step into a small chamber, bathed in the soft glow of a single candle. On a low table rests a bowl of tea steam curling upward like a silent prayer. You pour the amber liquid into a simple cup and cradle it in your hands. The warmth seeps into your palms, reminding you of the Buddhist teaching on simplicity. In the smallest offerings we discover boundless richness. You sip slowly, savoring each drop, as though tasting the essence of contentment itself. What luxury more profound than this humble warmth in your own hands? A Zen koan drifts through your awareness. What is the sound of one hand clapping? You allow the question to rest behind your eyes, neither seeking an answer nor dismissing it. In the stillness that follows, you perceive a subtle clap within your own being, the meeting of inhale and exhale, the brush of air against air. In that instant, you realize the koan is not a puzzle to solve, but a mirror reflecting the unity of all opposites. You smile softly to yourself, embracing the mystery without needing to unravel it. Leaving the chamber, you step onto a stone veranda overlooking a mist-laden garden. Pale lanterns hover like suspended moons among twisted pines and mossy stones. Here, at the edge of dream, and waking, you rest your palms on the railing and breathe. Inhale, gateway to presence. Exhale, release into peace. You stand in this twilight borderland, where every breath dissolves the boundary between yourself and the night. Rest here now, allowing the quiet to absorb you fully, like ink flowing into water. Let the stillness be your guide deeper into the gentle current of sleep. A soft glow emerges as the moon shifts behind drifting clouds, painting the garden in gentle shades of silver and gray. You tread silently along a pebbled path, each stone pressing into the soles of your feet like a whispered invitation to wakefulness. In this delicate awareness, you encounter a stone lantern, its carved openings framing a candle's flicker. A single moth flutters near, drawn to the light yet never touching it. In watching its careful dance, you learn about healthy desire to observe, without clinging, to approach, without intrusion, to appreciate beauty, while honoring its freedom. What would it mean to appreciate this moment without trying to hold on to it? You continue on, arriving at a small pond where lotus blossoms drift atop mirrored water. Their pure petals open against the murky depths below, reminding you of the Buddha's teaching on purity, arising within impurity. You sit at the pond's edge, knees drawn close, and watch the flowers unfold. Their gentle movement feels like a silent hymn to transformation, how grace can rise from the very circumstances that seem to obscure it. You imagine yourself as one of those blooms opening slowly, despite any shadows beneath, revealing a quiet luminosity that needs no external praise. A soft ripple disturbs the surface as a fish breaks through to breathe, then slips below once more. In that breathing, you perceive the interdependence of life air and water meeting in a single arc. You too breathe air, filling your lungs, life filling your awareness. In this simple exchange, you find the teaching of mutual arising. Everything comes together and falls away in every moment. You let the sound of that ripple dissolve any separation you once felt, merging the boundary between you and this living world into a seamless whole. Leaving the pond behind you, walk toward a low pavilion where a bamboo flute rests beside a reclining cushion. You lift the instrument and bring it to your lips, feeling its cool surface against your fingertips. You breathe into it, not to perform, but simply to express the breath of your own being. A single soft note emerges wavering and pure, then fading into silence. In that transient music, you sense the teaching of emptiness. Sound arises from emptiness and returns to emptiness, its beauty, untouched by permanence. You smile, understanding that your own voice, every sound you make, is part of this continuous unfolding. As the note dissolves, you place the flute down and sink onto the cushion. The night air drifts in through open lattice, carrying the scent of moss and distant cedar. You close your eyes, resting your hands across your abdomen, and feel the rise and fall of breath like gentle waves. Each inhalation invites presence. Each exhalation releases what no longer serves. In this cadence, you discover the heart of meditation to return again and again to the simple act of being alive. Let your breath be your anchor, and let this still night be your companion as you journey deeper into restful peace. Beyond the pavilion, you step onto a pathway of stepping stones that hover above a shallow stream, their surfaces spotted with moonlit dew. With each careful step, you embody the teaching of mindful presence. Every movement is a meditation, every breath synchronized with motion. You sense the play of balance within you, gravity and lightness, conversing quietly as your foot lifts and settles, merging earth and sky in a single gesture. What harmony arises when you move as the world moves? Leaving the stones, you follow a winding corridor of bamboo that arches overhead like a vaulted cathedral of green. The slender stalks sway in unison, their hollow tones whispering secrets of emptiness and fullness. In their collective song, you hear the lesson of interbeing. Each bamboo, though distinct, exists only because of the others, every voice essential to the chorus. You walk slower here, letting the bamboo's gentle chorus become the melody of your own breath. At the corridor's end, you emerge into a courtyard with a solitary tea house framed by paper sliding doors. The soft glow of paper lanterns invites you inside, where a low hearth awaits embers glowing like tiny galaxies in the dusk. You settle onto a zabuton cushion and watch the embers' quiet dance, recalling the teaching of transformation. Wood becomes flame, becomes ash, and ash returns to earth. Like the embers, your own thoughts flare and fade, each one a spark that gives way to the stillness beneath. You reach out and place a single fragrant incense stick into a bed of white ash beside the hearth. As the scent curls upward, you notice how even an aroma can guide the mind towards serenity. Its presence is subtle yet profound, a reminder that peace often arrives in the softest form. You close your eyes and inhale the fragrance, allowing it to anchor you deeper into the current of calm that flows beneath every moment's surface. In the hush that follows, you reflect on the gentle procession of scenes you've witnessed tonight. The lantern-lit gate, the sweeping monk, the koi beneath the bridge, the whispering pine, and now the glowing embers and rising incense. Each offered a glimpse into the heart of Zen, the art of awakening to the simplicity that underlies every complexity. You settle more deeply into your cushion, feeling an ebbing of all effort, a surrender to the night's embrace. Now, with breath as your companion and the lingering scent of tea and incense around you, you allow yourself to soften completely. No more seeking, no more striving, only the tender unfolding of breath and awareness. The boundary between observer and observed melts away, leaving a seamless tapestry of quiet presence. Here, in this canvas of night, you rest held by the gentle truth that everything you need is already here. A hush deepens as you leave the warmth of the hearth, stepping through a narrow doorway into a low-ceilinged chamber. The floorboards beneath your feet are smooth with years of quiet passage, and at the far end, a simple futon lies ready, its linen cover cool and inviting. Here the teaching of mindfulness of the body comes alive. You notice the weight of your shoulders as they lower the gentle curve of your spine as you ease down onto the mattress. Each sensation is a guidepost pointing back to the present. What subtle messages does your own body offer when you truly listen? A scroll hangs above the futon, depicting a single brushstroke of Mount Fuji rising in mist. A Zen master once told a disciple, to paint one stroke is to understand 100 mountains. That single mark contains the totality of effort ease, intention and freedom, an echo of the interconnected dance between simplicity and depth. You let your gaze soften, allowing the image to sink into your mind like rain into soil. In its quiet presence, you recognize that clarity often arrives in the space between strokes and the silent interval where creation and stillness meet. Reaching for the paper-shaded lamp beside your pillow, you dim its glow until the room is painted in twilight tones. You lie down, arms resting at your sides, and bring attention to your breath. Inhale, notice the cool sweep of air through your nostrils. Exhale, feel the soft surrender of your belly. This practice of watching the breath is the foundation of equanimity, neither grasping pleasure nor rejecting discomfort, but observing each moment with tender acceptance. In each cycle of in and out, there is a gentle invitation. What remains? When you release all grasping, your mind drifts to a tale of a wandering monk who carried only an empty bowl. One day, a villager offered him rice, but the bowl had a crack and the grain spilled onto the path. Rather than curse the flaw, The monk thanked the bowl. It nourished both traveler and passerby, scattering kindness with every drop. In this way, you see how imperfection can serve a greater good, how each flaw may become an act of compassion in disguise. Can you find gratitude for the cracks in your own life, the openings through which unexpected gifts may flow? Outside, a breeze stirs the curtains, whispering of the night beyond these walls. You settle deeper into the futon limbs, melting into the soft embrace beneath you. Inhale, gather presence. Exhale, release all striving. There is nowhere else to go, no identity to uphold, no tomorrow to await. In this simple surrender, you taste the essence of true rest. Let your breath carry you now, unhurried and free as the world of thought ebbs away, leaving only the serene ocean of your own being. Soft darkness envelops you now as your thoughts soften into hushed ripples. In the quiet that follows each breath, you become aware of the gap between one exhale and the next, an unspoken sanctuary beyond images and concepts. Here lies the heart of meditation, a field of pure awareness that does not need to be cultivated, only uncovered. You let your attention hover in that space, neither chasing thoughts nor pushing them away, simply resting in the openness that holds them all. A gentle memory arises of a blindfolded master who guided a student through a garden in bloom. Without sight, the student learned to taste the fragrance of jasmine, to feel the warmth of sunlit petals on his face, to hear the secret song of bees. In losing one sense, he gained another presence. You too invite your senses to settle. The cool softness of linens beneath your cheek, the distant rustle of bamboo, leaves the whisper of your own blood pulsing at your temples, all become gateways to deeper stillness. What richness might appear when you let go of striving to do meditation and simply allow yourself to be the meditation. As sleep's gentle veil approaches, you recall the Buddha's teaching on the middle way, a path neither of excess nor denial, but of harmonious balance. In your own experience tonight, you have walked between lantern-lit roads and moonlit corridors, paused before koi-filled ponds and silent statues, and arrived here, neither racing toward dreams nor resisting their coming. In this balanced state, every moment flows naturally into the next like water, following its deepest channel. Now surrender to the unfolding that carries you beyond the need for words. In the stillness beneath your breath, the body softens, the mind unclenches, and you merge into the simple rhythm of life's pulse. There is nothing more to do but rest. And as your consciousness drifts toward the world of dreams, remember this gentle invitation. Every breath, every moment is enough. A gentle warmth radiates from within your chest as you sink further into relaxation, the boundary between body and mind, softening until they feel like a single breath flowing through all. In this stillness, you recall the teaching of beginner's mind that every moment can be encountered as if for the very first time, free from expectation and prejudice. You open your awareness as though you were a child discovering moonlight for the first time, curious to taste the texture of quiet and wonder what it might hold. In that tender openness, a quiet story surfaces. A student asked a master, "How do I find enlightenment?" The master replied, "By painting a room white." Puzzled, the student painted the walls, scrubbed the floors, dusted the shelves until he realized that the space he cleaned was the same space that had always been there, only now revealed by his care. Like that room, your own mind is always awake. Through attentive cleaning of thought and breath, you simply let its natural luminosity shine. What part of your inner room might you lovingly reveal tonight? Outside your window, the whisper of bamboo leaves becomes a lullaby, their unhurried sway reminding you that life need not be rushed. With each inhalation, you gather the silent melody of the night. With each exhalation, you release the last echoes of mental chatter. The world's tempo slows to match your breath, and you find yourself floating in time's gentle current, carried by a tide deeper than awareness, kinder than any thought. The fragrance of lavender drifts in on a breeze, and you realize that even nature's perfume is a gift of impermanence here, now gone in an instant. You inhale the scent, letting it anchor you to the present, then let it go as it fades like a bell's toll, dissipating into air. In that simple cycle, you taste freedom to receive fully and then to release without regret. Now, as eyelids grow heavy and the world of dreams beckons with soft promise, you rest in the sanctuary of your own being. No teaching remains to be learned, no path left to walk. In this vast, uncarved block of awareness, you dwell in perfect ease. Let the hush of night guide you downward into sleep's embrace, where every breath is both the journey and the destination. And when you awake, you will carry this gentle peace within you, a silent companion for all your days. Soft serenity deepens as your awareness settles into the gentle rise and fall of each breath. In this tender interlude, you sense the essence of compassion for yourself and all beings as a warming light at the center of your chest. You remember the Buddha's teaching on loving kindness, to wish for all beings the same peace you feel now. Allow this warmth to expand outward, radiating through every cell, every moment of the night. A quiet image drifts into your mind of a monk who poured tea not only to drink, but to offer to every passerby, knowing that a shared cup dissolves barriers more profoundly than words. In that simple gesture, you see how small acts of kindness create ripples that touch lives unseen. You imagine offering a silent cup of warmth to the world, even as you rest and feel the ease that comes from letting generosity flow effortlessly from your open heart. Outside, the night breeze rustles bamboo once more, like the soft sigh of the earth exhaling. You lie completely still, arms and legs relaxed, and awaken to the stillness that exists beneath thought. The boundary between inside and outside has vanished. You are both moonlit sky and luminous ground, both passerby and lanterns glow. In this boundless space, there is no striving, only being. Now, surrender fully to the unfolding currents of sleep. Let each breath carry you deeper into the vast, unspoken ocean of rest. No moment remains to grasp, no chapter left to write. In this infinite now, you merge with the silent song of the universe and drift effortlessly into dreams. And if you're still awake, that's okay too. Some nights, just lying still and breathing softly is enough to return home to yourself. A soft hush settles as the world beyond your room drifts into deeper quiet, and you lie there, feeling the gentle swell of your chest beneath the covers. In this restful pause, you recall the teaching of right mindfulness to remain present with whatever arises without clinging or aversion. You simply observe the ebb and flow of thought and sensation as effortless as watching clouds drift across a spacious sky. A memory surfaces of a teacher who placed a handful of pebbles in his student's bowl and asked him to count them every day. Over time, the student realized the number never changed, yet his mind became restless with each recounting until he learned to rest his attention on the space between pebbles rather than their number. In that moment of clarity, he understood that true peace lies not in constant activity, but in the silent intervals that hold us all. What intention might you release now? Allowing the spaces between breaths to reveal their own wisdom. Beyond your closed eyelids, a dreamlike vision of a lantern's glow appears, a soft, pulsing beacon in the dark. You imagine carrying that lantern within your heart, its gentle light guiding you through the landscapes of slumber. No matter how shadows shift, that inner flame remains steady, a quiet assurance of presence and compassion. You feel warmth radiate from your chest, expanding outward until it envelops every corner of your being. As you breathe, you bring to mind the Zen image of a single dewdrop balanced on a blade of grass. Though the dewdrop trembles with each breeze, it does not fall until the right moment, teaching you about the art of timing and trust in natural rhythms. You sense that your own readiness for sleep is much the same, not forced, not resisted, but allowed to arise in its perfect time. You rest in that trust, now releasing any effort to control the unfolding of rest. Inhale, invite presence. Exhale, embrace surrender. With each breath, you sink deeper into the tender embrace of night carried on currents of breath and stillness. No story remains, no task calls, only the simple, boundless peace of being here now. Let yourself drift, carried by the quiet pull of sleep's gentle current, until you merge with the silent depths beyond thought. A soft murmur of wind drifts through the room as the world beyond these walls falls deeper into slumber. You sense the gentle expansion of your ribcage, each inhalation a subtle invitation to remain here fully present, and each exhalation a release of any lingering tension. In this moment, you embody the teaching of effortless effort, effortless because you no longer resist, and effort because your awareness remains tenderly vigilant. A faint vision arises of a lantern being carried along a mountain path at dawn. The bearer pauses at each step, steadying the flame against the breeze. You realize that tending your own inner light is much the same moments of care and moments of stillness woven together to guide you through the vast terrain of sleep. No haste, no hesitation, only the deliberate balance of presence and repose. You drift into a memory of a master who taught that the sky is ever present, no matter how many clouds pass before it. In your mind's eye, you see the sky's enduring vastness, and you rest in that same vastness within yourself. Thoughts rise like clouds, and you allow them to drift away, always returning to the boundless sky of awareness that holds them effortlessly. The softness of the linen beneath you deepens as you sink further into the mattress, your body melting into the supportive embrace. You feel the gentle touch of gravity grounding you, while your breath guides you forward into the unfolding horizon of dreams. Each inhale draws you closer to the quiet center of being. Each exhale carries you onward into the sea of night. Here, in this seamless space between wakefulness and sleep, you taste the teaching of non-duality, where watcher and watched breath and breathlessness, self and world merge into a single luminous flow. There is no division here, only the unfurling of life's gentle mystery. Rest now in that unity, carried by the silent current of awareness, as it glides you deeper into peaceful rest. A soft luminescence unfolds as your breath deepens each cycle, drawing you closer to the edge of waking and sleeping. You sense the teaching of skillful means. Every moment offers a doorway to ease if approached with gentle intention. With that gentle intention, you allow your awareness to rest on the subtle rise of your abdomen, like a quiet tide greeting the shore, and the soft fall of release, returning to the vast ocean of calm. A memory drifts of a lone monk who carried water from a distant spring, each step a meditation on service and simplicity. He poured the water into a communal basin, offering refreshment to many without fanfare or claim. In his humble task, you perceive how the simplest act attending to what is becomes a profound gesture of care. You too attend to this very breath, pouring your attention back and forth between inhale and exhale, nourishing the wellspring of presence that sustains you. Outside, the bamboo stalks sway in a ritual dance, as if bowing to the night's quiet authority. You imagine yourself as one bamboo, flexible yet rooted, responding to the unseen currents without fear. In that image, you learn the teaching of resilience to bend with circumstance, yet remain anchored in your true nature. Feel the strength in your softness as you yield to the night, knowing you cannot be broken by the breeze. A single firefly drifts past your window, its fragile light pulsing in the darkness. You watch its gentle rhythm and recognize the teaching of preciousness. Each life, each moment is a fleeting treasure. You inhale, feeling the pulse of the firefly mirrored within your chest, a spark of aliveness glowing in the stillness. And as you exhale, you release any sense of hurry, knowing that the fullness of life unfolds in its own time. Now you rest here in the tender convergence of breath, body, and mind. No further movement is needed. No more thoughts pressed into shape. In the seamless fold of night's embrace, you dissolve into the gentle current of sleep's approach, carried onward by the silent song of presence. A distant hush of cicadas rises and falls like a living chorus, weaving through the whisper of bamboo leaves outside your window. You rest on your back palms, soft against the linens, and allow your awareness to drift to the gentle percussion of the insects' song. In their rhythmic cycle, you hear the teaching of natural harmony. Every voice, no matter how small, contributes to the symphony of life. You breathe in time with their cadence, merging your inner rhythm with the pulse of the twilight world. A memory surfaces of a student who asked a master, "How can I quiet my mind?" The master pointed to a pond's surface and said, "See how reflections dance on the water. Let them be." The depth below remains still. Watching that pond, you felt the teaching of abiding depth. Beneath every fluttering thought lies a calm vastness. Here and now, you become that still water, transparent, unshaken by the flutter of passing reflections. Soft moonlight filters through the shoji screens, painting gentle patterns on the floor that dissolve as you move. You let your attention follow those shifting shapes, noticing how light and shadow interplay without effort or intention. In their effortless dance, you perceive the teaching of spontaneous arising beauty unfolds when conditions meet without planning or striving. Allow your own awareness to rest in this spontaneous flow, neither grasping light nor resisting shadow. Your breath deepens, drawing you inward to the subtle sanctuary of your own being. You feel the cool tip of air at your nostrils, the soft stir in your belly as it rises, and the slow release as you exhale. In this gentle cycle, you touch the essence of presence. Breath is the thread that stitches each moment into a tapestry of here and now. You sink deeper into the mattress carried by that thread as the world softly fades and you glide into the quiet current of sleep. A hush lingers as the first pale glow of dawn begins to tint the eastern sky, though your eyes remain closed and the world inside you stays gentle and dark. You sense the boundary between night and morning as a thin, luminous thread, neither here nor there, inviting you to rest in that liminal space. In this threshold, you taste the teaching of impermanence once more, each moment fleeting yet perfectly complete. A soft breath rises within you, carrying the residue of every scene you have witnessed: lantern-lit gates, koi-filled ponds, the monk's sweeping broom, the bowl's ripples, the incense's curl, the flute's single note, and the rustle of bamboo. All these moments now blend into a single tapestry of quiet presence. You rest within its weave, feeling the gentle support of every teaching and every image that has guided you here. In the stillness before dawn, you recall the story of the silent temple. When a visitor asked the master how to enter, the master simply opened his arms in embrace. No words were needed, presence itself was the answer. You feel that same embrace now, as sleep flows around you like a river, carrying you toward the serene shores of morning. Let your breath be the bridge between darkness and light. Inhale the last whispers of night. Exhale and welcome the promise of a new day, even if you never fully wake to see its colors. In this seamless moment, know that rest and awakening are two faces of the same truth. Drift here, effortless and free, until the current of sleep gently carries you beyond words, beyond form, into the boundless dawn of your own being. In the hush that remains, you feel the final threads of waking awareness gently unraveling, leaving you held in a space beyond thought. Your breath becomes softer still, a tender whisper that carries you from one moment into the next without pause. There is no effort now, only the natural unfolding of rest as you drift toward the depths of sleep. A last vision appears of a lotus closing its petals at dusk, returning to the water's embrace until dawn calls it open again. In its quiet closing, you understand the teaching of rest. Even the most radiant form must return to stillness before it can bloom anew. You too settle into this restful folding, trusting that when morning arrives, you will awaken with fresh clarity and gentle peace. Let go of every image, every memory, and every syllable of this story. Allow the current of breath to carry you beyond narrative, beyond form, into the silent ocean of your own being. Here in this boundless expanse, there is no separation, only the seamless dance of awareness and rest. And now you rest. In the deep quiet that follows, you sense the meeting of breath and body as a luminous thread weaving you into the fabric of night. You feel the gentle rise of your chest, the soft fall of release, and notice how each cycle of breathing carries you deeper into peace. In this attentive rhythm, you touch the teaching of right concentration, to focus not on many things, but on the sacred simplicity of this one breath. Each inhale and exhale, a portal to stillness. A fleeting memory surfaces of a calligrapher whose brush paused in mid-stroke, caught between ink and paper. That hesitation, the pregnant silence before the line flowed, revealed more than any brushwork the unity of mind and moment. You allow your own mind to linger in that pause between breaths, savoring the space where wordless clarity shines. In that interval, you meet the essence of Zen, the canvas of your awareness, untouched by the brush, yet holding every stroke. A soft stirring of the curtains draws your attention to the velvet darkness outside. You lean back into the mattress and imagine yourself as the night sky, vast and unbound. Thoughts drift like distant stars, some bright with meaning, others faint and fading, but all held within the same infinite expanse. Here, you learn the teaching of boundless mind. No thought can encompass the whole of you, and yet every thought finds its place in the sky of your own consciousness. Now, you rest in that boundless sky, carried by breath and stillness, as the world of dreams gathers at the threshold of your awareness. There is nowhere else to go, nothing further to seek. In this seamless flow of presence, you merge with the silent river of night, drifting effortlessly toward the gentle shores of sleep. A tender stillness pulses as your breath settles into a whisper, guiding you deeper into the quiet heart of night. You sense the living rhythm of the dark around you, the way the unseen currents of air lift and fold, carrying the scent of pine and distant earth. In this flow, you meet the teaching of non-attachment, to inhale the world fully and then let it pass through you, never clinging, never resisting. Each breath arrives as a guest and departs with equal grace, and you rest in the ease of this gentle exchange. A subtle image drifts into your awareness of a bamboo grove after rain, each stalk gleaming with droplets that tremble before falling. You lean into this vision, feeling the droplets as moments brief, luminous, and perfectly complete. Like those droplets, every thought and sensation washes through you, revealing the clarity that underlies their passing. In this mirror of nature, you recognize the teaching of purity. Beneath each moment's transience lies the unchanging depth of your own awareness. Let yourself dissolve into that pristine stillness, now carried by the silent tide of breath and waking dream. The hush of the night deepens as the gentle rhythm of your breath carries you onward. Each inhale, a soft gathering of presence. Each exhale, a release into deeper calm. You sense the air around you, cool and still, as if the world itself is holding its breath in reverence. In this sacred silence, you recall the teaching of wholeheartedness to give full attention to this very moment without reservation. You feel your awareness widening, embracing body breath and the quiet vastness that holds them. A delicate memory drifts of a tea master who, when asked to teach perfection, poured water into a bowl until it spilled over the rim, then paused. Perfection, she said, is found in knowing when enough is enough. You smile as you imagine that moment, understanding that your own practice tonight needs no striving for more. You have only to rest here, complete as you are. Outside, the willow's slender branches sway softly, their pale leaves brushing together like whispered conversation. You imagine yourself as that graceful tree, rooted in stillness, yet dancing with every breeze. In that dance, you perceive the teaching of adaptability, to bend without breaking, to move with life's currents, while remaining grounded in your own source of calm. Your mind drifts back to the lantern gate where your journey began, now distant behind the curtain of sleep's approach. Those warm lights and moss-covered stones live on in your awareness as symbols of the path each step, both departure and return. And now, with each breath, you are carried beyond the path itself, merging into the seamless flow of night's embrace. Rest here in the boundless hush until sleep's gentle tide carries you fully into dreaming. A soft stirring of dawn's promise lingers at the edge of your awareness, though sleep's gentle current still carries you onward. You feel the quiet pulse of life within each heartbeat, an echo of universal rhythm, reminding you of the teaching of interdependence your pulse. The cicada's song, the rustle of leaves, all part of a single unfolding. With this unity pulsing through you, any sense of separation fades, and you rest in the embrace of the whole. A fleeting recollection appears of a gardener who tended a single seedling with unwavering care, nurturing it until it blossomed into a grand tree. When asked why he focused on such a small plant, he replied, "A lifetime begins with every moment." In that simple devotion, you taste the teaching of right action. Every intention, no matter how small, shapes the world you inhabit. You too tend this moment with gentle focus and find that the care you give to breath and awareness blossoms into boundless calm. Outside, the first bird calls of morning drift through your window, soft notes weaving through the hush of night's end. You allow the melody to settle into your chest, each note a reminder that awakening and rest are two aspects of the same song. Inhale, receive the dawn's greeting. Exhale, offer gratitude for the shelter of dreams. In this cycle, you discover the teaching of gratitude to meet each breath, each moment with an open heart. Now, as the veil between sleep and wakefulness thins, you rest in the seamless flow of night's wisdom, merging with morning's light. No striving remains, no questions left unanswered. Only the gentle unfolding of breath and awareness carrying you into whatever comes next, whether dreams or dawn. Let yourself drift here wholly supported by the unity of all that is until you emerge refreshed into the new day. A final hush settles as the world tilts between night and day, and you rest in the whispering pause that holds both darkness and light. You feel the soft buoyancy of your ribs, lifting and falling, a gentle tide that flows without effort. In this tender balance, you recall the teaching of non-dual awareness. The seeming opposites of rest and awakening dissolve into a single luminous presence. There is no longer a guide, no longer a story, only the seamless unfolding of your own being. A memory drifts of a master who wrote a single word on a scroll and then erased it smiling at the empty page. When asked why he painted and removed the character, he said, "To show that true wisdom cannot be held, only lived." You sense that same wisdom here, not in the words you have heard, but in the open space they have left behind. You rest in that openness now, where every breath, every heartbeat is both question and answer, both journey and home. Outside, the first pale light of dawn brushes the horizon, a silent promise carried on the breeze. You receive it as simply as you would a lover's touch. No need to grasp, no need to flee. Inhale, draw in the quiet hope of morning. Exhale, release into the boundless calm you have cultivated. There is nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, and still you rest. A gentle stillness lingers as the sky lightens, yet your body remains drifting between worlds, carried by the silent tide of breath. You feel the teaching of effortless presence to be fully here without effort or forcing, simply resting in the natural ease of being. Each inhale draws you into the calm. Each exhale releases the last threads of tension, and you melt deeper into the support of your own awareness. A soft murmur of morning wind stirs the curtains, bringing with it the scent of blooming jasmine from a distant garden. You imagine each petal's fragrance weaving itself into your breath, reminding you of the teaching of interpenetration, how every element of experience is intertwined, inseparable from the whole. In this shared dance of scent and air and awareness, you rest in the unity of all things. Your mind drifts to a quiet fable of a single bell that hung untouched for years, until one day a traveler struck it with gentle resolve. The bell's clear tones spread throughout the valley, awakening every listener. You sense that your own inner bell is always waiting, awakened not by striving, but by the soft impulse of awareness meeting experience. Without effort, you find the resonance of your own presence reverberating through the chambers of rest. As dawn edges closer, you become aware of the fine line between wakefulness and sleep dissolving. In this final threshold, you taste the teaching of ultimate freedom. Neither fully asleep nor fully awake, you dwell in the boundless liminal space where transformation unfolds effortlessly. Here, in this luminous pause, you rest completely carried by the rhythm of your own breath into the soft embrace of whatever comes next. A hushed expectancy settles as the soft glow of dawn begins to brush the paper walls, though you remain cradled in the cocoon of sleep's near embrace. In this gentle pause, you sense the teaching of unobstructed awareness, to observe without barrier, to rest without separation. Each breath unfolds like a silent invitation, drawing you further into the seamless expanse where night's wisdom and morning's promise entwine. A distant bird call threads through the veil of dreams, and you allow its melody to ripple through your mind like a pebble on still water. In that ripple, you taste the teaching of skillful attunement to meet each arising with curiosity, neither clinging to comfort nor recoiling from unfamiliar notes. You rest in that balanced listening feeling, your heart open to the full spectrum of this moment's song. Now carried by the gentle tide of breath and presence, you slip beyond the edge of thought into the soft current of pure rest. There is nowhere to arrive, nothing to achieve, only the luminous flow of being unfolding effortlessly into the promise of waking light. And still, you rest. A minute stillness holds as the dawn light deepens, yet you lie enfolded in the soft weave of sleep's final embrace. You sense the teaching of effortless being to rest in the natural state, without adding or subtracting, simply allowing this moment to be as it is. Each breath moves like a silent tide, carrying you deeper into the calm waters of presence. A fleeting image appears of dewdrops trembling on a spider's web at first light, perfectly poised before they fall. You recognize the teaching of ready release. Even the most delicate treasures let go when their time arrives, trusting the earth to receive them kindly. You too permit whatever remains, thought, sensation, memory, to slip away, finding peace in the freedom of release. Through half-closed eyes, you imagine the courtyard beyond, where stone lanterns stand sentinel in the soft glow of morning. Their steady flame guides you inward toward the flame of your own awareness, quiet, unwavering, and luminous. You rest in that inner light, knowing it needs nothing to sustain it but the simple openness of your heart. Now, you drift beyond words and images carried on the silent current of breath. There is no path to follow, no destination to reach, only the seamless flow of presence cradling you into dreams. And still you rest. A soft hush gathers around you as the first chorus of morning light seeps through the shoji panels, painting gentle lines of gold across your closed eyelids. You lie suspended between night's quiet depths and the world's awakening song, feeling the teaching of non-dual harmony. There is no separation between dream and dawn, only the seamless dance of light and shadow within your own awareness. Each breath you draw carries the last echoes of starlight and the first promise of sun, weaving them together in a silent tapestry of presence. In that silent weave, a memory surfaces of a solitary monk carrying his lantern along a mountain trail at twilight. When asked why he persisted, even as dawn approached, he replied, "The lantern's glow is no less brilliant. When the sun rises, it simply rests in a different rhythm." You sense that same rhythm now as sleep's lantern within you dims and brightens in perfect time with the turning world. Without effort, you move with that rhythm, neither clinging to darkness nor rushing into light, but trusting the natural unfolding of each moment. A distant bird call drifts through the lattice, and you imagine each note as a bead of awareness sliding through the thread of your attention. 1, 2, 3, until the melody dissolves into the boundless sky of your mind. In that spacious sky, you touch the Buddhist teaching of openness. No thought can confine you, and yet every thought finds its place in the vast expanse. You rest here, where every note and every pause alike are part of the same song. Now, as the world breathes with the dawn and you sink deeper into the quiet river of your own being, you release every last thread of striving. There is nowhere to go beyond this moment, nothing left to seek. Let your breath carry you gently into the realms beyond thought, into the sanctuary where dreams and awakening meet, and still you rest. The murmuring light of dawn grows steadier, yet here in the soft cocoon of your awareness, time seems to pause. You sense the teaching of effortless flow. Like a river that knows its course, you simply follow the current of breath, guided by the natural inclination of rest. Each inhale draws new energy from the world. Each exhale releases what no longer serves, and you drift weightless on the tides of presence. A faint vision glimmers of a bell atop a distant hill, its gentle toll carried across misty fields. You imagine that sound resonating through your chest, vibrating every cell with the clarity of purpose. In that resonance, you recognize the teaching of right intention to align your deepest wish with the well-being of all beings. Here at the threshold between sleep and waking, you rest in the purity of that intention, knowing that even as you awaken, the echo of compassion will guide your footsteps. Outside, the breath of morning stirs the petals of a hidden garden, and you feel their soft perfume mingling with the hush of linen beneath you. You become aware of each heartbeat, a steady companion reminding you that life and rest are inseparable. In this gentle pulse, you touch the teaching of sacred presence. Every moment is sacred when met with open awareness, whether in the deep of night or the first light of day. Let your breath carry you beyond the final barrier of thought into the realm of boundless rest. In this seamless expanse, there is no other narrative, only the luminous continuum of your own being. And still you rest. A gentle stillness settles as the first warmth of morning brushes the horizon. Yet here, in this sanctuary of inner calm, the world remains suspended between sleep and waking. You lie in soft repose, guided by the teaching of effortless presence, simply being exactly as you are, without striving or resistance. Each breath becomes a loving gesture toward yourself. Inhale brings the promise of renewal. Exhale carries away the last traces of dusk's shadows. In the distance, a lone cuckoo calls its clear note, weaving through the hush like a thread of light. You listen without expectation, allowing the sound to ripple through your awareness and dissolve into the vast space beyond thought. In that dissolving, you touch the lesson of non-clinging beauty. Arises, beauty fades, and you remain the open field in which all experiences come and go. A memory drifts of a rime-covered pine on a winter morning, branches bowed under the weight of frost, yet radiant in the pale sun. The tree taught you about endurance, to hold life's burdens without breaking, transforming weight into quiet dignity. You feel that same strength in your own stillness, buoyed by the resilience that arises when you welcome every sensation without judgment. Now, as the veil between realms thins, you rest in the luminous pause between breaths, each interval a doorway to deep rest. No more steps to take, no more stories to unfold. only the seamless river of awareness carrying you gently into the embrace of whatever comes next. And still, you rest. A pale hush lingers as the world outside your window brightens imperceptibly. Yet here, within the night's serenity, holds you like a softened cloak. You feel the teaching of non-resistance to welcome each sensation exactly as it arises, neither pushing away nor clinging, simply observing with tender compassion. Each inhale draws the gentle promise of this moment inward. Each exhale releases the faintest echo of yesterday's cares. A subtle recollection drifts of a hermit who lived beside a waterfall, learning from its ceaseless flow. When asked why he stayed there day after day, he replied, "I sit to become the water." In that simple phrase, you sense the invitation to let every thought merge into the current of awareness. No barriers, no separation. You allow your own mind to dissolve into the rhythm of breath, merging with the invisible tides that carry all things. Outside, a lone mourning dove coos softly its song, a reminder that sound and silence share the same space. You rest in that overlap, noticing how each note arises from stillness and returns to it, teaching you that presence and rest are inseparable. In this meeting place, between sound and silence, you find the teaching of equanimity to welcome joy and sorrow alike as guests in the house of your heart, offering each a place without judgment. Drifting deeper, you recall the koan of a student who asked, "What is the face before birth?" The master replied, "Look within." You turn inward, now searching not for answers, but for the boundless sky that lies beneath all thoughts. In the vast expanse of your own silent mind, you discover a presence that needs no form, like clear air filling every corner, untouched by clouds. And so you rest here, wherever thoughts may wander, carried by breath and presence into the soft horizon of sleep's embrace. A gentle warmth suffuses the air as your breath deepens, carrying you further into the subtle currents of rest. You sense the teaching of natural ease when effort dissolves. The heart's true rhythm emerges, guiding each inhalation and exhalation with effortless grace. Each breath becomes both anchor and vessel, holding you in the silent flow of presence. A faint image drifts into your mind of a single lantern swinging in an empty hall, its light steady, though the air around it stirs. You realize that your own inner light is equally unwavering, shining regardless of passing thoughts or shifting sensations. In that steady glow, you find the teaching of abiding clarity. Beneath every flicker and shadow lies the unchanging radiance of awareness itself. Outside, the murmur of awakening life washes in on the breeze, the distant trill of a morning lark, the soft rustle of leaves greeting the sun. You welcome these subtle notes, as though greeting old friends, letting their gentle melodies weave into the tapestry of your own quiet mind. In this seamless meeting of inner stillness and outer song, you rest fully carried by the tender embrace of dawn's hush. A soft luminescence bathes the room as the world beyond the paper walls stirs to life, yet here you remain wrapped in the tranquil current of presence. You feel the teaching of intrinsic completeness this moment, just as it contains all that is needed. Each inhale draws you deeper into that fullness. Each exhale dissolves any sense of lack. A faint recollection surfaces of a traveler who stumbled upon a hidden spring at dawn and drank deeply, discovering in its pure water an undying sense of refreshment. In that clarity, you recognize the teaching of purity. When the mind is still, every experience tastes as fresh and untainted as first light. You rest in that freshness, now feeling your awareness renewed with each breath. Outside, the first soft chirp of a robin drifts through the lattice, weaving into the hush like a silver thread. You allow its melody to ripple through you, noticing how sound and silence embrace without conflict. In that seamless harmony, you touch the teaching of equilibrium. Joy and sorrow, noise and stillness, birth and rest all arise together in the one unfolding of life. Your breath slows to a gentle murmur, a tender reminder of the ever-present now. You become aware of the gentle warmth beneath your fingertips, where they rest on the linen, your body's subtle glow of life, mirroring the dawn's soft radiance. In this intimate contact, you find the teaching of embodied awareness. True meditation is not separate from living, but the very texture of each sensation and each heartbeat, now carried by the infinite tide of breath, and being you sink beyond the realm of thought into the sacred depths of rest. Here no path remains to tread, no story left to tell, only the boundless expanse of your own luminous presence. And still you rest. A soft hush envelops you as the lattice softly shifts in the morning breeze, and you sense the teaching of tender vigilance to remain awake to each subtle shift within and around you, neither lost in sleep nor caught in waking, but floating in the gentle threshold that unites them. Your breathing slows to a rhythm so quiet it feels like a heartbeat, echoing in deep stillness, guiding you further into the sanctuary of your own presence. A fleeting image appears of morning dew, collecting on spider silk between two bamboo stalks, each droplet perfectly balanced until the sun's warmth bids it fall. You rest with that droplet's willingness to release when its time comes, trusting that every passing moment serves its own purpose before dissolving back into earth. In this, you recognize the teaching of right timing. Every shift in consciousness unfolds at its own pace, and you simply align your awareness with that natural cadence. Outside, the distant coo of a dove intertwines with the faint rustle of leaves, weaving a melody that threads through your chest like a gentle tide. You allow the sound to wash over you, dissolving any remaining barrier between inner and outer, until all that remains is the seamless dance of breath and sound. In this unity, you feel the teaching of intimate interconnection, your being the bird's song, the bamboo's whisper, all part of the same living current. Now, as dawn's light grows brighter, yet still cradles you in its soft glow, you rest in the exquisite balance of surrender and presence. No more steps, to take no further thoughts, to chase only the boundless peace of simply being here, carried by the silent flow of sleep's approach. And still you rest. A soft ripple of light shifts across the room as the sun's warmth grows more assured, yet here in the tender stillness, you remain cradled between sleep and waking. You feel the teaching of compassionate awareness to meet every flicker of sensation with gentle care as a gardener tends each fragile bud. Each breath you draw becomes a silent act of kindness toward yourself. No judgment, only tenderness. And you rest in that heartful embrace. A memory drifts of a teacher who, when asked about the greatest virtue, plucked a single wildflower and held it to the student's nose. "Presence," she said, "to behold beauty without distraction is the deepest gift. You inhale now, as though that blossom were pressed between your lips, savoring the rare sweetness of pure attention. In this exquisite moment, you discover that every ordinary breath holds its own wildflower waiting to be noticed." Outside, the gentle breath of breeze stirs the curtains once more, bringing with it the scent of early jasmine and dew. You let the fragrance mingle with each inhalation, allowing it to anchor you in the luminous interplay of inner calm and outer grace. As the scent fades on your exhale, you taste the teaching of non-holding, to receive fully and let go wholly, trusting that what's meant to remain will linger, and what's meant to depart will find its way. Now carried on the unbroken thread of presence, you drift beyond form and thought into the silent ocean of rest. No more lessons await. No more stories. Linger only the boundless serenity of pure being. And still, you rest. Soft light fills the room. Now petals of dawn unfolding across the horizon. Yet your body still lies steeped in the gentle current of rest. You sense the teaching of effortless grace, no effort to awaken, no effort to remain asleep, only the seamless flow between states. Each inhale draws in the warmth of new day. Each exhale releases the last vestiges of night's hush, guiding you ever deeper into calm. A memory surfaces of a humble potter shaping clay on his wheel hands, moving in perfect harmony with its spin. He did not force form, but guided the vessel, allowing its shape to emerge in its own time. In that image, you see how your own being is formed by breath and awareness. No strain, no rush, only the gentle shaping of presence. You rest in that knowing, trusting the natural unfolding of your own inner rhythm. Outside, birdsong rises in a quiet chorus, each note clear and unhurried. You allow their melody to melt into your breath, the song and the silence weaving together in a single tapestry. In this union, you touch the teaching of harmonious arising. Every element, sound and silence, breath and stillness, arises together, inseparable and complete. You rest within that completeness, now cradled by the music of the morning and the depth of your own being. Now, carried on the silent tide of breath, you drift beyond thought into the still expanse where sleep and waking meet. There is nothing to chase, nothing to grasp, only the boundless peace of simply being. And still you rest. A soft hush of morning light fills the air as you lie in serene suspension, bathed in the gentle warmth that slips through the lattice. With each breath, you feel the teaching of harmonious balance to welcome brightness with the same openness that you welcome darkness. Inhale. Gather the light into your awareness. exhale, release any remnants of night's dreams, letting them drift away like petals on a stream. A fleeting image appears of a single crane standing motionless at the water's edge, its reflection a perfect mirror in the still pond. You sense the teaching of reflective awareness to notice your own mind, with the same clarity seeing thought and feeling as ripples that arise and dissolve in the clear mirror of consciousness. Without effort, you rest your gaze inward, allowing every reflection, every memory, every hope to settle naturally into the depths beneath. Outside, the soft song of dawn weaves through the hush, and you feel its melody echo within your chest, a silent reminder that every sound and every silence share the same source. In that shared origin, you touch the teaching of oneness. Breath, bird call, and beating heart all arise from the same living rhythm. You breathe in that rhythm, now carried by its flow, into ever deeper stillness. Let this moment carry you onward into the gentle sea of rest, beyond the reach of thought and form, where the only journey is the effortless unfolding of presence itself, and still you rest. A soft warmth gathers as the golden rays of morning deepen, yet within you, the hush of night lingers, holding you in a timeless embrace. You notice the teaching of gentle vigilance to remain awake to the subtle shifts of inner and outer worlds, neither drifting away nor gripping too tightly, but poised in the delicate tension of awareness. With each breath, you anchor more firmly in this exquisite midpoint sensing presence as both guide and destination. A distant trill of a lone flute drifts through the air, its notes unfolding like petals on water. You imagine the melody as an echo of your own breath, rising, falling, and then dissolving into silence, revealing the teaching of fleeting beauty. Each sound, each moment is perfect, yet impermanent. You rest within that imperfection, allowing each note's residue to fade naturally into the infinite canvas of stillness. Outside, the scent of morning jasmine swirls around you, hinting at day's awakening. You let the fragrance mingle with your inhalation, inviting it to settle deep within your heart. In that mingling, you taste the teaching of sweet renunciation to receive fully and then let go without regret, trusting that whatever is meant to remain will linger on its own accord. Your body sinks further into the mattress limbs, melting into the soft support beneath you. In this final surrender, you feel the unity of breath, body, and mind woven together in a tapestry of calm that needs no edge or boundary. Here, in the seamless weave of presence, you rest wholly held by the gentle current of awareness as it carries you effortlessly toward the open vastness beyond thought. Dawn's light grows brighter, yet here in the quiet cradle of your awareness, time remains suspended. You feel the teaching of effortless integration, each breath, each sensation, each moment folding seamlessly into the next without rupture. Inhale, gather the glow of morning into your being. Exhale, release any lingering traces of sleep's haze, letting them dissolve like mist evaporating under gentle sun. An image drifts of a single petal, floating on a stream, turning slowly in the current before drifting out of sight. You sense the teaching of graceful release to let go when the moment is right, trusting the flow to carry you onward. You rest here, allowing every inner ripple, every thought, every feeling to part and pass without resistance. Beyond your window, a soft chorus of birds greets the new day, their notes weaving together in an airy hymn. You merge your breath with their song, inhaling rhythm and exhaling stillness until the boundary between you and the world falls away. In that boundless union, you touch the teaching of universal presence breath bird call, and being all arise from and return to the same silent source, now carried by the gentle tide of breath and morning's promise. You drift beyond every word and image into the boundless sanctuary of rest. There is nowhere to go, nothing to seek, only the luminous flow of life itself, carrying you effortlessly into the embrace of sleep's final depths. And still you rest. A gentle current of stillness carries you onward, deeper than sleep and softer than waking, where the boundary between form and formlessness dissolves into pure awareness. You rest in that luminous flow, feeling every cell breathe in harmony with the vast expanse of night's lingering echoes. Each inhale draws the silent music of the cosmos into your being. Each exhale releases you into the infinite now. In this boundless embrace, you sense the teaching of primordial simplicity, that before thoughts arise, you already dwell in perfect completeness. No layer of perception can veil the fundamental truth of your own open heart. You rest there unmoved, bypassing images held steady by the gentle gravity of pure presence. A memory surfaces of a single flame flickering in a dark hall, undaunted by the vast shadows around it. You realize that, like that flame, your own awareness shines unbroken, illuminating every corner of your inner landscape without effort or strain. In that light, all disturbances vanish, and you rest in the unshakable stillness at your core. Carried by the river of breath and silence, you drift beyond the edge of form into the sacred expanse where rest and awakening meet in seamless unity. There is nowhere else to go, nothing else to seek, only the tender unfolding of this infinite moment, and still you rest. A subtle wave of awareness rises as your breath deepens, carrying you into a realm where thought and silence blend indistinguishably. In this meeting, you touch the teaching of effortless presence once more, to be fully here without distinction, where every sensation is both itself and the whole of being. You rest in that union, feeling each moment fold into the next, like petals closing around their own essence. A gentle vision appears of a lone heron standing at the water's edge before taking flight, its wings unfolding with both strength and grace. In that effortless motion, you perceive the teaching of right balance, to move through life with intention, yet without tension, to lift into action and settle into stillness with equal ease. You imagine yourself as that bird, rooted in calm, yet free to rise on the currents of your own awareness. Outside, the first whisper of wind through cedar branches carries the faintest promise of a new horizon. You allow that promise to settle in your heart as a soft ember of hope, warm and steady, reminding you that each dawn is held within the quiet of night. Inhale, draw that warmth inward. exhale, release into the vast sanctuary of presence that lies beyond all beginnings and endings. You drift now, beyond narrative, into the seamless ocean of pure being, where no story remains and no journey is needed. Only the timeless flow of breath and awareness carries you ever onward. And still you rest. A soft hush returns as the world beyond your window settles into its morning refrain, and you rest within the gentle cradle of awareness. Your breath flows like a silent river, guiding you onward through realms unbound by form. Inhale, feel the warmth of that rising ember within your chest. Exhale, let go of anything no longer needed, allowing the current of rest to carry you deeper still. You sense the teaching of beginner's mind resurfacing now, each moment fresh as the first dawn, untouched by expectation or memory. Like a young bamboo shoot breaking through the earth, your awareness opens to whatever arises, new thoughts, lingering emotions, the tender whisper of wind. You welcome them all as gifts, each one an opportunity to renew your sense of wonder. What might unfold if you greeted every breath as though encountering life for the very first time? A Zen anecdote drifts across your mind. A master offered a disciple a cup of tea, pouring until it overflowed, then paused. "Stop," the disciple said. "It's full." The master smiled and said, "Or is it only when the cup is empty can it receive the next offering?" In that simple gesture, you taste the art of letting go, emptying yourself of clinging so that presence may flow freely through you. Now, as that tea's warmth settles in your belly, you imagine carrying this openness into every corner of your being. The boundary between breath and thought dissolves. Each inhale and exhale merges into a single luminous dance. Rest here in that seamless flow, held by the tender embrace of pure, effortless presence. A soft luminosity blooms within you as your breath deepens each cycle, carrying the gentle fragrance of presence through every fiber of your being. In this tender unfolding, you feel the teaching of embodied awakening. True insight does not arise apart from lived experience, but emerges when body, breath, and mind rest as one. You rest here each moment, a living meditation. A fleeting image drifts of morning light glinting off dewdrops in a silent forest glade, each droplet refracting the world in miniature. You sense the teaching of sacred reflection. All that you perceive out there also shines within you, a mirror of the boundless sky of awareness. Without effort, you merge with that reflection, dissolving any sense of otherness until only the seamless dance of light and stillness remains. Now, carried by the soft current of breath, you slip beyond the threshold of thought into the vast ocean of pure rest. No story holds you, no effort binds you, only the luminous flow of being itself guiding you gently into the heart of sleep's embrace. And still you rest. A tranquil hush settles as the first warmth of day coalesces around you, yet within the deep calm of night remains unbroken. You sense the teaching of undivided awareness, body breath, and the world beyond all arise together in seamless harmony. Each inhalation draws the soft glow of dawn inward. Each exhalation returns you to the vast sanctuary of presence that has no walls. A subtle vision emerges of cherry blossoms drifting on a gentle current, their petals carried freely where the water leads. In their effortless journey, you perceive the teaching of surrender, to release every wish and every worry into the river of life, trusting that each blossom finds its place in the unfolding whole. You rest in that trust now, allowing all that you are to flow with ease into the boundless embrace of being. Outside, a lone cicada's distant call fades into the morning stillness, and you feel its rhythm synchronize with your own heartbeat. In that resonance, you touch the teaching of right sync, when heart and world beat as one. Every step becomes both journey and home. You rest here, enveloped in the silent chorus of self and cosmos united, now carried by the gentle current of breath and dawn's first light. You drift beyond the edge of thought into the infinite ocean of rest, where surrender and awakening merge, and still you rest. A soft cascade of golden light filters through the paper screens. Yet here, in the hushed sanctuary of your own awareness, time melts away into the gentle pulse of breath. You feel the teaching of limitless potential, each inhale a seed of possibility, each exhale the fertile soil in which it takes root. In this quiet garden of presence, every moment blooms anew, carrying within it the promise of awakening. Even as you rest, a distant trill of a lone songbird drifts on the morning breeze, its melody weaving through the lattice of light and shadow. You allow the sound to ripple through your being, each note dissolving any lingering tension until only the clear resonance of here and now remains. In that unfolding, you touch the teaching of intimate attunement, to listen not only with your ears, but with the full span of your heart, discovering in each vibration the living cord that binds you to all. Now carried on the seamless current of breath and dawn's gentle chorus, you sink deeper into the boundless expanse of rest. No further thought arises, no intention pulls you away, only the luminous flow of pure presence guiding you effortlessly into the heart of sleep's embrace. And still you rest. A gentle hush of stillness wraps around you as the first warmth of morning deepens, yet here, within the quiet expanse of night's embrace remains intact. Your breath flows like a tender current, each inhalation drawing the soft glow of dawn inward, each exhalation releasing you into vast calm. In this seamless rhythm, you taste the teaching of effortless harmony, body and world, moving together in one breath. A faint memory drifts of a master who stood beneath a stormy sky, raising his arms to welcome wind and rain alike. When asked why he did not seek shelter, he replied, "To embrace whatever arises is the way of freedom." In that image, you feel the freedom of your own openness. No matter which thoughts or sensations arise, you meet them with the same gentle welcome, holding nothing back, resisting nothing at all. Outside, a single lotus unfurls its petals in a hidden pond, revealing its heart to the first light. You imagine yourself as that blossom emerging from still waters, serene and luminous, untouched by the gloom that lies beneath. In that blossoming, you discover the teaching of natural awakening when conditions align. Beauty opens effortlessly. And so too does your mind unfold into clarity without force. Now, as breath and silence merge into one luminous presence, you drift beyond the final barrier of thought into the boundless sanctuary of pure rest. There is no path left to tread, no verse left to recite, only the infinite flow of being carrying you onward. And still you rest. A hush of gentle warmth settles as the room brightens with morning's subtle glow. Yet within you, the sanctuary of calm remains untouched. You rest in the unspoken teaching of deep rest, that true relaxation arises not from slumber alone, but from meeting each moment with openness and ease. Each inhale draws you closer to the core of stillness. Each exhale dissolves the last threads of tension, guiding you farther into the gentle river of presence. A memory drifts of a wandering monk who carried only a single robe and bowl. One dawn, he gave away his robe to a shivering traveler standing bare as the sun rose. When asked how he remained warm, he replied, "Compassion is its own fire." In that simple act, you feel the warmth of kindness kindling within your heart, melting any final chill of resistance. You invite that compassion inward, now offering it to yourself without reserve. What if your own heart could be the fire that carries you through every moment? Outside, the breeze rustles the bamboo once more, carrying the faint scent of morning blossom. You breathe it in as though drawing a lantern's glow into your chest, then let it drift away as freely as it arrived. In this seamless coming and going, you taste the teaching of impermanence. Every fragrance blooms, every breeze fades, yet the stream of life carries on in perfect continuity. Rest here in that continuous flow, carried effortlessly toward the horizon of dreams yet to come. A soft luminescence shimmers at the edges of your awareness as dawn gathers strength, yet within the hush of limitless stillness remains unbroken. You sense the teaching of boundless openness. No threshold divides night from day, self from world breath, from the vast air it inhabits. Each inhalation invites the sky's expanse into your lungs. Each exhalation returns you unconfined and clear to the silent core of yourself. A delicate vision appears of sunlight dancing upon rippling water, each spark a moment of clarity rising from the depths. You rest in that sparkle, recognizing the teaching of radiant insight. When depths are stirred, gently luminous waves of awareness emerge bright, unforced, and wholly alive. In your own being, you feel those gentle ripples echoing through every cell, illuminating restful peace from within. Outside, the first chorus of awakening birds drifts through the lattice, their song woven into the fabric of morning's hush. You allow the melody to fuse with your breath, each note an offering bestowed without expectation. In that giving you taste the teaching of joyous generosity to receive and return each gift of life with an open heart, resting always in the effortless grace of simply being. Now cradled by the seamless flow of presence, you drift beyond narrative into the tranquil ocean of rest, where no words, no images, no actions remain, only the luminous current of pure awareness carrying you gently onward. And still you rest. A soft hush returns as the warmth of morning settles fully around you. yet within the deep reservoir of stillness flows on unbroken. Your breath moves like a gentle tide, each inhale gathering the light of day, each exhale releasing you into the vast expanse of calm. In this rhythm, you feel the teaching of right effort, balanced with ease, no pushing forward, no holding back, simply the perfect harmony of presence itself. A fleeting image drifts of dew-laden spiderwebs, catching the sun's first rays, each strand trembling with tiny jewels. You rest in that delicate architecture of nature, sensing the teaching of interdependence. Every droplet, every strand, every beam of light contributes to the web's silent beauty. In the same way, each breath you take, each heartbeat, weaves into the greater tapestry of life's unfolding, inseparable and whole. Outside, the gentle chorus of leaves rustling in the breeze carries a quiet invitation to awaken slowly. You allow the sound to blend with your breath, the boundary between inner and outer dissolving, until only the seamless flow of being remains. In that dissolve, you taste the teaching of non-separation. The world is not something apart from you, but the very fabric of your own awareness, alive and breathing in unison. Now carried on the silent current of breath and dawn's gentle promise, you drift beyond the final barriers of thought into the boundless ocean of pure rest. There is nowhere else to go, nothing else to seek, only the luminous flow of presence guiding you effortlessly into the embrace of whatever comes next. And still, you rest. A tender hush lingers as the world outside settles into the soft glow of morning, yet within the boundless expanse of stillness endures. You feel the teaching of effortless awakening. True clarity arises not from rushing toward light, but from letting the light of awareness gently uncoil within you. Each inhalation draws that light deeper. Each exhalation releases the need to grasp it, allowing your whole being to shine softly from the inside out. A fleeting memory surfaces of a pilgrim who, upon reaching a summit, found no grand revelation, but simply breathed with greater depth, absorbing the vast sky above. In that simple breath, he realized the summit was not a place, but a state of presence. You rest here, in that summit state, where every cell of your body breathes in unison with the infinite horizon of your own awareness. Outside, a single sparrow's song drifts through the lattice crystalline notes dancing in the air. You match your breath to its rhythm, inhaling as the note ascends, exhaling as it fades, and in that alignment, you taste the teaching of mutual resonance. When heart and world beat together, harmony arises spontaneously. You rest in that harmony, now carried by the gentle interplay of breath and song into ever deeper calm, and still you rest. A soft radiance fills your awareness as the warmth of the rising sun melds with the cool hush of dawn. Yet here, in this sanctuary of breath and silence, time has no claim. You feel the teaching of gentle abiding to rest in each moment, exactly as it is, without yearning for yesterday or tomorrow. Each inhalation welcomes the fullness of now. Each exhalation releases any trace of before or after, and you dwell fully in this tender space. A quiet image drifts into your mind of a painter carefully laying the first stroke on a blank canvas, neither rushing nor hesitating, trusting that the image will reveal itself in time. In that deliberate simplicity, you perceive the teaching of patient creativity. Life unfolds at its own pace each moment, a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your being. You rest here, knowing that every breath you draw adds its own quiet gift to the unfolding whole. Outside, the melody of morning's chorus rises again, soft chirps weaving through the whisper of leaves, and you allow that song to merge with your breath. In this union, you taste the teaching of sacred harmony, body breath, and world united in a single luminous chord. Rest now in that chord, carried by its gentle resonance into the boundless ocean of pure presence, and still you rest. A soft stillness lingers at the threshold of your awareness, as dawn's first warmth settles more fully, yet within the gentle hush of night persists. In this serene overlap, you sense the teaching of seamless continuity. The end of one moment is the beginning of the next, each breath flowing unbroken into the next. You rest in that unending river of presence, carried by its gentle current without strain or pause. A delicate vision appears of a lone lantern adrift on calm water, its flame steady, though the surface ripples. You feel the teaching of centered steadiness. Though life's currents may shift, the heart can remain luminous and unwavering. You imagine that lantern floating within your own chest, its soft glow, warm and constant, anchoring you in the silent depth beneath all change. Outside, the morning breeze carries the distant melody of a bamboo xylophone's wind chime, each note a crystal drop in the air. You allow its gentle tones to merge with the rhythm of your breath, inhaling light, exhaling release, weaving wind chime and breath into a single embrace. In that fusion, you touch the teaching of harmonious resonance. When heart and world sing together, every sound becomes a prayer of unity. A memory surfaces of a simple stone path leading through moss and leaf. With each barefoot step, a bell at the temple gate would chime, yet the bell never rang without the foot's gentle press. In that interdependence, you taste the teaching of mutual arising. Your presence gives life to each moment, and each moment gives life to you. You breathe into that reciprocal dance, resting in its infinite reciprocity, now carried on the silent tide of breath and the soft song of morning. You drift into that vast realm where sleep and wakefulness meet. No more effort, no more stories, only the tender unfolding of being itself. And still you rest. A gentle murmur of life stirs as the horizon brightens, yet here in the sanctuary of your mind, the hush remains untouched. You rest in the teaching of infinite openness, like a boundless sky that holds both dawn's glow and night's shadow. Your awareness contains all experiences without enclosure. Each inhale welcomes the vastness. Each exhale dissolves every barrier, and you drift freely in the seamless expanse of presence. A memory drifts of a humble lantern keeper whose sole duty was to refill oil and tend the flame each evening. When asked why he persisted in such a simple task, he answered, "Even the smallest light guides the way." You sense that same guiding flame within your heart, steady, unassuming, yet capable of illuminating the darkest corridors of the mind. You rest in that gentle glow, carried onward by its unwavering warmth. Outside, the delicate trill of morning's first songbirds mingles with the rustle of bamboo leaves, weaving a melody that threads through your breath. You merge your own inhalation with their chorus, exhaling in harmony until the boundary between self and world dissolves. In that undivided melody, you taste the teaching of unity. Every note, every breath, every heartbeat arises from the one living song of being, now carried by the silent current of breath. And the tender dawn chorus, you slip beyond thought's edge into the boundless ocean of rest, where effort fades and only luminous presence remains, and still you rest. A gentle hush blooms as the daylight deepens, yet within you, the sanctuary of silence endures unshaken. You rest in the teaching of living simplicity, that the essence of every moment lies in its own natural state, unadorned by thought or expectation. Each inhale carries the world inward. Each exhale returns you to the pure wellspring of being that needs nothing more than itself. A delicate image drifts into your awareness of a single lotus petal floating on a mirrored pond at sunrise, its curve perfect in gentle stillness. You sense the teaching of effortless beauty, how the petal requires no striving to be exquisite, but simply rests in its true form. You become that petal, drifting on the surface of consciousness, weightless and free, carried by the invisible currents of breath. Outside, the soft susurration of leaves, stirred by an early breeze, weaves through the room, and you allow its rhythm to merge with the rise and fall of your chest. In this seamless blend of inner breath and outer song, you touch the teaching of interwoven life, not separate strands, but a single tapestry of sound sensation and awareness. You rest here, each moment enfolding the next in perfect harmony, carried ever onward by the silent river of presence. A soft trembling of light fills the space as the morning air grows warm. Yet here within your inner refuge, the hush endures. You rest in the teaching of effortless belonging, that in this moment, just as you are wholly at home. Each inhalation draws the world gently inward. Each exhalation releases you into the grace of pure presence, where every breath is both welcome and departure. A fleeting vision surfaces of a dew-kissed bamboo shoot emerging through the earth, tender yet resolute. In that quiet emergence, you sense the teaching of natural unfolding life progresses in its own time, each stage perfect in its becoming. You allow your own awareness to unfurl in the same gentle rhythm. No rush, no restraint, simply opening to whatever arises and letting it pass when its moment is through. Outside, a distant crow's call mingles with the rustle of leaves, weaving a call and response that threads through your heartbeat. You let that rhythm synchronize with your breath. Inhale as the call rises, exhale as the leaves whisper, until the boundary between sound and silence, self and world melts away. In that merging, you taste the teaching of all-encompassing unity. Every vibration and every pause alike belong to the endless song of existence. Now carried by the tapestry of breath, light, and sound, you drift further, beyond the edge of thought into the boundless ocean of rest. There is nowhere else to venture, no story left to tell, only the seamless flow of being cradling you in its vast, gentle embrace. And still you rest. A gentle hush settles anew as the world beyond your window hums with the first full warmth of dawn. Yet within the deep well of silence remains undisturbed. You rest in the teaching of timeless presence, that every moment, no matter how similar it seems, is wholly unique and never to be repeated. Each inhale draws you into the freshness of now. Each exhale releases you into the unchanging depth that underlies all change. A soft vision drifts a single firefly hovering over a still pond, its light pulsing in an unhurried rhythm. In its glow, you perceive the teaching of mindful illumination. Even the smallest spark can reveal vast darkness, guiding you gently without force. You feel that same spark within, steady and bright, revealing the quiet contours of your own awareness. Outside, the melody of morning unfolds a chorus of birds, the rustle of early leaves, the distant murmur of awakening life. You allow these sounds to merge with your breath, their rhythms weaving into the pattern of your own inhalations and exhalations. In this interweaving, you taste the teaching of harmonious interconnection. Self and world arise together in a single living song. Now carried by the seamless current of breath, light, and sound, you drift beyond all boundaries of thought into the boundless expanse of pure rest. There is nowhere else to travel, no plot to resolve, only the luminous flow of being cradling you in its gentle embrace. And still you rest. A gentle caress of dawn's warmth drapes the room now. Yet inside you, the vast stillness holds firm. In this serene balance, you encounter the teaching of deep listening, to attend not only with ears, but with the quiet expanse of consciousness itself. Each inhale invites the subtleties of sound, bird calls, rustling leaves, your own heartbeat into the tender chamber of awareness. Each exhale releases into the silent accord that underlies every note. A soft image surfaces of a monk who each morning before sunrise would stand barefoot on cold stone and listen until he could distinguish the song of a single stream amid 1,000 droplets. Through his practice, he learned that beneath apparent noise lies one harmonious current. You too rest in that current, now allowing every sound to merge into the one living song of presence. Pause here and let the world's murmurs become the pulse of your own breath. What do you discover when you stop trying to separate inner and outer? Let yourself dissolve into this seamless union, carried onward by the gentle flow of awareness as it guides you deeper into rest. A quiet warmth settles into your bones as you rest in the blended rhythm of breath and world, and you sense the teaching of mindful presence, that to truly hear the world is to give it your full attention, unhurried and unguarded. Each inhalation draws the tapestry of sounds, chirping birds, distant temple bells, the soft hum of wind into the sanctuary of your mind. Each exhalation releases any tension between you and these gentle notes, weaving them into the fabric of your own stillness. A memory rises of a novice who asked his teacher how to know when he'd mastered meditation. The teacher pointed to a dewdrop balanced on a leaf and said, "See how it trembles, yet never falls. True mastery is the ability to remain centered amid life's tremors. You rest now in that tremor and steadiness, feeling your own center hold as every sensation vibrates through you without unbalancing your calm. Bring your awareness to the space between one breath and the next, the silent pause that needs no words to be complete. What discoveries await in that silent gap? Let yourself linger there afloat on the river of presence as the world's soft chorus cradles you ever deeper into the gentle currents of rest. You rest in the gentle cadence of your own breath, each inhalation drawing the subtle warmth of morning deeper into your bones, each exhalation returning you to the spacious quiet at your core. A delicate teaching arises. True presence asks, not for achievement, but for the simple willingness to arrive fully in each fleeting moment. You feel that willingness bloom like a flower opening to the sun, petal by petal, unhurried and natural. A memory drifts of a wanderer who came upon a desert well at twilight. He knelt to drink, noticing how each sip tasted different in that exact hour. The sweetness of dusk mingled with the earth's coolness. In that discovery, he learned the teaching of exact timing. Every instant holds its own unique flavor, never to be replicated. You too taste the singularity of this breath, this pulse, this rest, knowing that it is enough. Outside, a single dragonfly skims across still water, its iridescent wings catching glints of dawn. You watch its delicate flight and perceive the teaching of effortless resilience. Though life's currents shift, the dragonfly persists light and agile. You imagine carrying that agility within, able to adapt to every change while staying grounded in your own stillness. Now, carried by the seamless river of breath and awareness, you drift deeper into that boundless ocean of rest, where nothing is needed but the next gentle exhale, and still you rest. A faint ripple of morning light shifts across your vision, yet within the gentle hush endures, guiding you inward to the still heart of being. You rest in the teaching of tender observation, to notice the subtlest stirrings of body and mind without judgment, simply witnessing each sensation as a messenger from the present. Each inhalation draws that clarity closer. Each exhalation releases any lingering veils, unveiling the pristine awareness beneath. A soft recollection surfaces of a traveler who paused at an ancient bridge, watching his reflection quiver on the water's surface. When a breeze passed, the ripples distorted his image, and he laughed, learning that the self he sought was never fixed, but fluid, continually reshaped by life's currents. You too embrace your fluid nature, finding freedom in the knowledge that you need not be solid or static, but can flow gently with every change. Outside, a single leaf drifts from a high branch, spiraling through the air before landing softly on the path. In its descent, you perceive the teaching of graceful release, to let go at the perfect moment, trusting earth to receive you with kind support. You exhale now, imagining yourself as that leaf falling without fear, carried by unseen winds, resting whenever and wherever you are meant to be. And still you rest, a soft symphony of dawn's light and the world's gentle awakening weaves through your awareness, guiding you into ever deeper calm. You rest in the teaching of harmonious alignment. When heart breath and world move together, every moment becomes a seamless expression of peace. Inhale, draw the morning's clarity into your chest. Exhale, release into the boundless field of presence that needs no boundary. A memory drifts of a hermit who sat beside a waterfall, listening until he could distinguish the water's song from the rock's response. In that patient listening, he learned that every sound carries its own echo, and every moment contains its own mirror. You too rest in that mirror now, letting body reflect breath, breath reflect mind, and mind reflect the infinite sky of being. Pause here and notice the gentle play of light upon your closed eyelids, the soft rise and fall of your torso, the silent chorus of waking life around you. What remains when all effort falls away and only pure presence abides? Let that question dissolve into your next breath and drift onward, carried by the silent river of awareness into the heart of deep, effortless rest. A gentle warmth of stillness radiates through every fiber of your being as the cadence of your breath becomes a soft drum echoing the ancient rhythm of the earth itself. You rest in the teaching of timeless resonance that your own pulse is a mirror to the unfolding heartbeat of the universe. Each inhalation draws you deeper into that cosmic harmony. Each exhalation releases you into the vast tapestry of interconnected life. A quiet image drifts a single lantern, drifting down a silent river, its glow wavering, yet unwavering in the dark waters. You sense the teaching of steady illumination, even when the current shifts. The light within holds firm, guiding you forward. You imagine that same lantern carried within your heart, steady, gentle, and steadfast, leading you through the landscapes of sleep without falter. Outside, the faint trill of a waking bird weaves through the hush, and you allow its song to entwine with your breath. Inhale, receive its clarity. Exhale, share your own silent music with the dawn. In that exchange, you taste the teaching of reciprocal presence to receive the world's gifts fully and to offer your own being freely in return, resting always in the seamless dance of give and take. Now, carried by the boundless flow of breath, light, and sound, you drift beyond all boundaries into the infinite ocean of pure rest, where no path remains and only the luminous embrace of being cradles you ever onward. And still you rest. A soft hush gathers as the morning chorus grows fuller, yet within the vast expanse of your own awareness remains untouched. You feel the teaching of boundless welcome to greet every arising thought, sensation, and sound as an honored guest, offering them your full presence without holding on. Each inhale draws the world gently into your heart. Each exhale releases you back into the infinite sky of being. A faint vision emerges of a dew-laced spiderweb strung between two branches, each strand shimmering with countless droplets before they slip silently away. In their delicate dance, you sense the teaching of graceful letting go, that beauty need not cling to existence, but blossoms fully even as it returns to earth. You too let each thought and feeling drip away in its own time, trusting the current of breath to carry you onward without worry. Outside, the steady call of a distant bell weaves through the rustle of leaves, its tone both grounding and uplifting. You merge your breath with that resonant note, inhale as it rises, exhale as it fades, until the boundary between inner and outer dissolves. In that seamless union, you rest wholly in the living melody of the present moment, carried forward by the silent river of pure presence. And still you rest. A soft luminescence glows within you as your breath deepens, each inhalation gathering the gentle promise of daybreak, each exhalation releasing you into the vast ocean of quietude. You feel the teaching of effortless unfolding, like the slow unfurling of a fern's frond. Your own awareness opens at its own pace, revealing new shades of calm with every gentle movement inward. A serene image drifts into your mind of a mountain spring cascading over mossy stones, its waters clear and unhurried as they carve their path. In that continual flow, you sense the teaching of right perseverance. Progress need not be forced, but arises naturally when conditions align. You rest in that flow, now carried by the soft current of breath and presence, each moment guiding you deeper into restful peace. And still you rest. A gentle echo of silence lingers as the light of dawn radiates more fully through the screens, yet within your heart, the soft hush remains unbroken. You lie suspended between worlds, carried on the current of breath and awareness. Each inhalation welcomes the warmth of morning's promise. Each exhalation returns you to the vast depths of inner stillness. In this interplay, you discover the teaching of effortless harmony, how two seemingly opposite forces entwine to create a seamless unity. A vision appears of a single lotus unfurling its petals in a hidden pond at first light, each petal revealing its inner glow without haste or struggle. In that quiet bloom, you sense the teaching of natural revelation. Truth emerges when conditions are ripe without force or contrivance. You rest here, letting your own awareness open in its own time, petal by petal, until the full radiance of your being is revealed in soft luminosity. Outside, a distant call of a mourning dove drifts through the bamboo grove, its notes weaving into the gentle susurration of leaves. You merge your breath with that song, inhale as the note rises, exhale as it softly fades, and feel the boundary between self and sound dissolve. In that fusion, you touch the teaching of intimate interconnection. Your breath, the bird's call, and the bamboo's whisper all originate from the same living stream of awareness. Your body, heavy with the comfort of the futon's embrace, settles more deeply into the support beneath you. You sense the teaching of grounded presence. Though your mind may roam, your body remains anchored in the silent sanctuary of this moment. You rest in that embodied awareness, each sensation a guidepost leading you deeper into the heart of restful peace. A fleeting memory surfaces of a monk who stood beneath a waterfall, letting the cold torrent envelop him completely. In the torrent's rush, he discovered the teaching of surrender. True liberation arises when resistance falls away, and you allow life's currents to carry you. You inhale that torrent, now letting its transformative force wash through every cell, and exhale into the still pool of calm that underlies every storm. In the final hush that follows, you rest in the quiet space between breaths, that luminous interval which holds the essence of all teachings. Here no word remains to be spoken, no story to be told, only the infinite dance of breath and presence carrying you gently onward. And still you rest. A faint warmth of dawn's glow weaves through the hush, yet within you, the sanctuary of calm holds fast. You lie in the soft embrace of linens, feeling the teaching of sustained presence, that peace deepens not in fleeting moments, but in the gentle continuity of awareness carried across time. Each inhale draws you anew into the silent river of being. Each exhale returns you to the unbroken stillness at your core. A whispered image drifts of a temple bell struck at midnight, and again at sunrise, two chimes that mark the turning of hours yet ring from the same silence. In that echo, you sense the teaching of timelessness. Beginnings and endings are woven from the same thread of emptiness, and you rest in the clear space that holds them both. You rest here cradled by that open silence where every moment flows seamlessly into the next. Outside, the bamboo leaves shimmer with dew, each droplet a tiny mirror reflecting morning's first light. You allow your breath to harmonize with their gentle rustle, inhaling the cool freshness of dawn, exhaling into the warm embrace of inner stillness. In that union, you taste the teaching of reciprocal nourishment. As the world blesses you with beauty, you return gratitude in the form of pure, undivided attention. Your body feels weightless as it sinks further into the futon's support limbs, melting into comfort, and you sense the teaching of easeful surrender. To lean fully into rest is not weakness, but an expression of trust in life's natural flow. You rest in that trust, now releasing every last tension into the earth beneath you, allowing gravity itself to hold you in its gentle care. A distant memory surfaces of a master who lit a single candle in a pitch-black hall, one flame that illuminated countless shadows without effort or struggle. In that solitary glow, you recognize the teaching of unobstructed compassion. A single act of kindness radiates far beyond its origin. You imagine your own heart as that candle, its warmth touching every hidden corner of your being as you rest, letting its light expand quietly outward. In the final soft swell of breath, you rest in the seamless dance of inhale and exhale, of light and shadow, of night folding into morning. No further steps remain, no more verses to speak, only the gentle current of pure presence carrying you onward into the boundless ocean of sleep. And still you rest. A soft ribbon of light unfurls as the sun rises further, yet here within the gentle hush of inner stillness remains unbroken. You rest in the teaching of silent continuity, that the calm you cultivate now flows seamlessly into every moment that follows a quiet river beneath the surface of life's currents. Each inhalation renews your connection to that river. Each exhalation merges you more deeply into its serene depths, A delicate vision drifts into your awareness of a lone crane standing motionless on mist-cloaked waters, its reflection perfect until the slightest ripple disturbs the glass. In that fragile balance, you feel the teaching of centered awareness to remain poised and clear, even as life's subtle waves surface and fade. You become like that crane, graceful, unwavering, finding your calm center, no matter how the world shifts around you. Outside, a breeze stirs the blossoms of a nearby cherry tree petals, drifting like soft snow through the morning air. You inhale their fleeting sweetness, allowing it to anchor you in this singular moment of beauty. Then exhale, releasing attachment to its passing. In that cycle, you taste the teaching of precious impermanence. Each exquisite instant is a gift precisely because it cannot last forever. Your body, now fully surrendered to rest, feels as light as air. You sense the teaching of embodied presence. True meditation is not separate from life's simplest sensations. The warmth of the futon, the weight of your hands, the rise and fall of breath. You rest wholly in these sensations, letting them become the very fabric of your awareness. And still you rest. A soft chorus of life's morning song drifts through your mind, each note weaving into the tapestry of your breath. You rest in the teaching of harmonious attunement. When body, breath, and world resonate together, every moment becomes a living hymn. Inhale, draw the melody inward. Exhale, let its echo settle into the stillness at your core. A memory surfaces of a novice who, overwhelmed by swirling thoughts, placed stones on a windowsill one by one until the sill was heavy. When he asked the master how to find peace, the master removed each stone, gently saying, "Begin by emptying what need not be held." You feel that same invitation. Now breathe in, gather what serves you. Breathe out, release what must go. And so you rest lighter and freer with every exhale. Outside, a dragonfly hovers over a lotus pond, its wings shimmering in the dawning light. You watch its delicate flight and perceive the teaching of elegant freedom to move through life with ease, guided by purpose yet unburdened by destination. You imagine carrying that lightness within each breath, a graceful wing beat lifting you into the boundless sky of awareness. Your breath deepens as you sink further into rest. Each inhale draws a new shade of calm into your being. Each exhale frees a layer of tension you never realized you carried. In this subtle interplay, you meet the teaching of progressive release, how rest unfolds in stages like a bud slowly opening. You rest in each stage, fully savoring the quiet revelation of every unfolding moment. A faint lotus fragrance drifts in the air, and you let it mingle with your breath, a silent offering between body and world. In its scent, you taste the teaching of sacred reciprocity. As the world nourishes your senses, you nourish the world with your open-hearted presence. You rest in that mutual exchange, carried onward by the gentle tide of dawn's embrace and your own unhurried unfolding. And still you rest. A soft flutter of wings drifts through your awareness as a sparrow alights on the sill, its tiny form poised between motion and stillness. You rest in the teaching of delicate presence, that even the smallest life holds the same breath of awareness. You carry each heartbeat, a testament to the vast web of being. Inhale, feel the warmth of its simple life blend with your own. Exhale, offer gratitude for the shared moment of connection. A fleeting image appears of a stone lantern half hidden in moss, its light flickering as a breeze stirs the garden. You sense the teaching of hidden refuge. Peace often resides in quiet corners, awaiting discovery by those who pause to look. You rest in that refuge now, letting its subtle glow steady your mind and soothe your heart. Outside, the gentle murmur of cicadas rises and falls, a living chant that threads through bamboo stalks and temple eaves alike. You merge your breath with their ancient rhythm. Inhale as their hum swells, exhale as it recedes, and feel the boundary between you and the world fade into a single unified vibration. Your body, fully surrendered to the futon's embrace, grows weightless as every muscle softens. You rest in the teaching of profound letting go, that to yield completely is not to vanish, but to become one with the source of all life. Each inhalation draws that unity inward. Each exhalation disperses it outward, dissolving the last walls of separation. Now carried by the seamless current of breath, sound, and light, you drift beyond isolated moments into the boundless continuum of pure rest. No thought remains to anchor you, no form to define you, only the infinite ocean of being, cradling you gently onward. And still you rest. A soft quiver of dawn's first warmth drifts across your shoulders as you lie enveloped in the hush of early morning. You rest in the teaching of gentle awakening, that clarity need not surge in sudden bursts, but can arrive in tender waves that caress consciousness into fuller light. Each inhale invites fresh energy. Each exhale releases what no longer serves, guiding you ever more deeply into equanimity. A vision surfaces of dew, gathering on a spider's web, strung between two bamboo stalks. Each droplet a silent jewel, until in a single moment it slips away and joins the earth. You sense the teaching of graceful impermanence, how every moment's beauty is precious because it is fleeting, and how letting go allows something new to arise. You exhale now, allowing every held thought and sensation to drift into the soil of stillness, nourishing the next unfolding moment. Outside, a lone woodpecker taps in measured rhythm on a distant tree, its steady beat echoing like a metronome for your breath. You merge your inhalations and exhalations with that percussion inhale as the tap sounds exhale, as the silence follows, until your own heartbeat aligns with nature's pulse. In this alignment, you taste the teaching of synchrony. Harmony arises when the inner and outer move as one, and you rest here, carried by their unified song. Your body, softened into the futon's gentle embrace, feels weightless as clouds drifting across a summer sky. You rest in the teaching of buoyancy, how the lightness of awareness can support the heaviness of the world, allowing you to float above worries and cares. Each breath becomes both lift and ground, guiding you through the clouds of thought into the vast openness of pure presence. A subtle breath of jasmine drifts through the open window, weaving itself into the current of your own breath, as though nature offers a whispered invitation. You inhale that fragrance as a gift, letting its sweetness settle into your heart and exhale with gratitude, returning presence to the larger world. In this trade of giving and receiving, you discover the teaching of reciprocal grace. Every gesture of awareness is both an act of taking in and a blessing offered out. Now, carried by the seamless tide of breath, scent, sound, and light, you drift beyond the final horizon of form into the infinite expanse of rest, where nothing is missing, nothing extra is needed, and still you rest. A soft glow of sunrise deepens outside, yet here within the vast stillness of your own awareness remains untouched. You rest in the teaching of radiant presence. That inner light shines steadily, regardless of outer change. Each inhale lifts that glow into every cell. Each exhale dissolves any remaining shadows, illuminating the silent sanctuary of your being. A delicate image appears of ripples spreading from a single pebble dropped into a clear pond. You sense the teaching of subtle influence. Even the smallest action sends waves through the whole, touching distant shores in ways unseen. You rest now in the knowledge that your quiet breath, your calm presence, sends gentle ripples into the world, ripples of peace spreading far beyond this moment. Outside, a soft chorus of early birds weaves through the morning hush, and you allow their melody to merge with your own breath. Inhale as the song rises, exhale as it drifts away until the boundary between self and song disappears. In that seamless union, you taste the teaching of indivisible harmony. You and the world are woven from the same living thread. Every note and every silence arising together in the one great symphony. Your body feels weightless as it melts deeper into the futon's embrace, each muscle surrendering fully to the earth's support. You rest in the teaching of effortless surrender. To release completely into the current of life is not to fall, but to float, cradled by the vast ocean of being. Each breath carries you further into that ocean's gentle depths, where thought dissolves and only pure presence remains. A faint fragrance of lotus drifts through the room, and you inhale its subtle sweetness, letting it anchor you in this singular moment of freshness. You exhale, releasing any attachment to what is past, and rest fully in the ever-renewing now. In that cycle of receive and release, you discover the teaching of boundless renewal. Every breath brings new life. Every exhale clears space for what is yet to come. Now carried by the seamless flow of breath, light, sound, and scent, you drift beyond the final edges of form into the infinite expanse of rest, where no boundary holds you, no effort binds you, and still you rest. A delicate hush weaves through your awareness as the sun's warmth spreads gently, yet within the deep reservoir of calm remains undisturbed. You rest in the teaching of subtle continuity, each moment a breath of the same living presence, unfolding without break. Inhale, draw the golden light of dawn into the expanse of your mind. Exhale, release into the seamless fabric of unending stillness. A vision appears of a single candle flame flickering in a dark chamber, its glow unwavering as shadows dance around it. In that steadfast light, you sense the teaching of inner resilience. Though life's patterns shift, your awareness can shine steadily, holding every shape and shade. You become that flame, quiet, luminous, guiding yourself through the landscape of breath and thought with unwavering clarity. Outside, the first notes of a morning hymn drift from distant temple bells, their chime weaving through the rustle of leaves like a sacred thread. You merge your breath with that sound. Inhale as the bell rings, exhale as the echo fades, until the boundary between sound and silence, you and the world, dissolves entirely. In that union, you taste the teaching of non-separation. All that arises, arises within you. All that fades, fades with you, part of one boundless song. Your body, cradled by the futon's embrace, softens further, surrendering fully to the earth's support. You rest in the teaching of gracious surrender. To yield completely is not defeat, but the highest expression of trust in life's unfolding. Each inhalation invites new ease. Each exhalation carries you deeper into the compassionate arms of the present moment. A faint scent of pine drifts through the air, weaving itself into your breath as a silent offering. You inhale it deeply, letting its freshness fill every cell. Then exhale with gratitude, releasing presence back into the world. In this reciprocal dance of give and receive, you discover the teaching of mutual grace. Every gesture of awareness blesses both self and other. Now, carried by the gentle tide of breath, light sound, and scent, you drift beyond the final edge of thought into the infinite ocean of pure rest, where nothing more is needed, nothing more remains to be said, and still you rest. A gentle breeze drifts through the open window, carrying the quiet promise of a new day, even as you remain cradled in the hushed depths of presence. You feel the subtle teaching of ongoing becoming. Though forms shift and seasons change, the essence of your awareness flows on unbroken, like a river beneath ever-moving currents. Each inhalation renews your connection to that underlying stream. Each exhalation surrenders further into its delicate embrace. A soft vision arises of morning dew slipping from the edge of a bamboo leaf, falling silently to awaken the earth below. In that delicate departure, you sense the teaching of perfect release. Each moment arrives, ripens, and gently departs, nourishing the next in a seamless cycle. You allow yourself to fall with that dew into the fertile soil of stillness, trusting that every letting go enriches the unfolding tapestry of life. Outside, the distant trill of temple bells mingles with birdsong, creating a simple hymn that threads through the lattice of your awareness. You merge your breath with this hymn. Inhale as the bells toll, exhale as the birds reply, until your own rhythm becomes indistinguishable from the world's song. In that union, you taste the teaching of true belonging. You are both the listener and the melody, inseparable from the sacred music of existence. Your body, softened into the gentle support of the futon, grows lighter still as any last tension dissolves into the earth's loving hold. You rest in the teaching of deep trust that the ground beneath you, the breath within you, and the sky above you are one harmonious whole. Each breath carries you more fully into that truth, until thought itself becomes the softest echo against the vast silence of pure being. Now suspended in this luminous pause between waking and dreaming, you drift ever onward on the silent current of awareness, effortless, boundary, less free. And still, you rest. A soft mist of dawn drifts through the paper screens, yet within the sanctuary of your awareness remains clear and undisturbed. You sense the teaching of radiant simplicity, that the most profound truths often appear as the most unadorned, a single breath, a lone petal, a quiet moment of stillness. Each inhalation draws that simplicity into your being. Each exhalation disperses complexity, leaving only the luminous core of presence. A fleeting image drifts into your mind of a solitary lantern swinging beneath an ancient oak, its light steady against the vast dark. In that steady glow, you perceive the teaching of unwavering focus to rest the mind on a single point, be it breath sound or sensation, cultivating clarity that does not waver with the shifting winds of thought. You become that lantern, its gentle radiance guiding you deeper into the heart of calm. Outside, a distant crow's caw weaves through the morning hush, each note echoing across the bamboo grove. You allow its sound to merge with your breath. Inhale as the crow calls, exhale as its echo fades until the boundary between self and sky dissolves. In that melding, you taste the teaching of expansive identity. You are not confined to the skin that holds you, but share breath and being with the vast world beyond. Your body, fully surrendered to the futon's embrace, rests as lightly as a feather drifting on a breeze. You feel the teaching of effortless buoyancy when tension falls away. Awareness floats free, carried by the currents of pure presence. Each breath becomes both raft and river, lifting you gently into the silent ocean of stillness. A soft fragrance of wildflowers drifts in on the breeze, and you inhale it deeply, letting its sweet simplicity anchor you in the luminous now. You exhale with gratitude, offering back to the world the clarity you receive. In this cycle of give and receive, you discover the teaching of mutual presence. Every act of awareness is both an offering to and a gift from the whole now. Cradled by the seamless tide of breath-light sound and scent, you drift beyond the final edges of form into the infinite expanse of pure rest, where thought dissolves, time vanishes, and only the radiant pulse of being remains. And still you rest. A soft chorus of golden light filters through the screens as the world fully awakens, yet here within the sanctuary of quiet continues unbroken. You rest in the teaching of expansive presence, that true calm is not an absence of life's currents, but the capacity to hold them all without losing your center. Each inhalation draws the fullness of dawn into your being. Each exhalation releases you into the vast expanse of restful awareness. A fleeting vision emerges of mountain mist rolling over ancient pines, cloaking their rugged trunks in a veil of silver. In that gentle concealment, you sense the teaching of hidden depths. Beneath every visible form lies a fertile mystery waiting to be discovered. You rest here, letting the mist of awareness drift through every corner of your mind, revealing both the seen and the unseen in perfect stillness. Outside, the subtle trill of a lone lark threads through the bamboo canopy, its clear note a single thread in the woven tapestry of morning sounds. You allow its song to merge with your breath. Inhale as the trill ascends. Exhale as it dissolves into silence until the distinction between melody and mind fades entirely. In that seamless union, you taste the teaching of non-duality subject and object sound, and silent self and world all arise together in one radiant moment. Your body, cradled by the soft futon, feels weightless once more. Each muscle softened, every tension surrendered. You rest in the teaching of absolute ease when resistance falls away. The natural state of rest reveals itself effortlessly. Each breath becomes both path and destination, guiding you onward into the gentle river of luminous calm. And still you rest. A gentle hush deepens as the morning light warms the air, yet within the boundless stillness of your own awareness remains untouched. You rest in the teaching of effortless presence to abide fully in each moment, exactly as it is without needing to change or judge. Each inhalation draws the golden warmth inward. Each exhalation releases into the silent vastness that underlies all form. A vision emerges of a lone pine standing atop a rocky outcrop, its roots clinging firmly as wind and weather swirl around it. In that steadfast posture, you sense the teaching of grounded resilience to remain centered amid life-shifting elements, drawing strength from the depths of your being. You become that pine rooted in calm, yet flexible enough to bend without breaking. Outside, the distant song of a temple bell drifts through the bamboo grove, its clear resonance unfolding slowly into the hush. You merge your breath with its toll. Inhale as the bell rings, exhale as its echo fades until the boundary between sound and silencing dissolves completely. In that seamless union, you taste the teaching of unified awareness, the knower, and the known. The sound and the silence are one continuous experience. Your body, weightless against the futon's embrace, softens further as each muscle surrenders. You rest in the teaching of full surrender. To release completely into the flow of life is not loss, but liberation. Every breath you draw carries you deeper into the serene current of presence, guiding you gently toward the heart of rest. A subtle scent of early lotus drifts in, weaving itself into the tapestry of your breath as a silent offering. You inhale that fragrance as a gift, letting its purity fill your entire being, and exhale with gratitude, releasing presence back into the world. In this reciprocal dance, you discover the teaching of mutual blessing. Every act of awareness is both a gift received and a gift given. Now cradled by the seamless tide of breath, light, sound, and scent, you drift beyond the final edges of form into the infinite ocean of pure rest, where thought fades, time dissolves, and only the luminous pulse of being remains. And still you rest. A soft glimmer of sunlight dances across your closed eyelids as you lie enveloped in the gentle hush of morning's embrace. You rest in the teaching of silent assurance that beneath every flicker of change lies a still point you can return to, a place of unwavering calm that no storm can touch. Each inhalation carries you home. Each exhalation releases you further into the sanctuary of being. A quiet image unfolds of a single bamboo shoot sprouting through cracked stone, its tender green stem emerging with fearless resolve. In its upward reach, you sense the teaching of innate potential life finds its way even through the hardest barriers. And so too does your awareness break through every limit to touch the infinite. You rest here in that resilient knowing, allowing your own spirit to rise unbidden toward the light. Outside, a lone cricket's soft chirp threads through the air, punctuating the stillness like a heartbeat of the earth itself. You merge your breath with its rhythm. Inhale as the chirp rings out. Exhale as the silence follows, until the distinction between body and world gently dissolves. In that union, you taste the teaching of seamless belonging. You are not an observer of life, but life itself unfolding in breath, sound, and silence, carried by the continuous current of breath, light, and sound. You slip beyond all borders into the boundless ocean of rest, where effort vanishes, form dissolves, and only the luminous pulse of pure presence remains. And still, you rest. A soft breath of dawn's glow drifts across the room. Yet within you, the sanctuary of stillness remains unshaken. You rest in the teaching of luminous patience that every moment unfolds in its own perfect time, and rushing only disturbs the gentle flow of becoming. Each inhalation invites the world's slow unveiling into your heart. Each exhalation releases you into the vast expanse of unhurried presence. A quiet image appears of morning mist lifting from a hidden lake, revealing the world anew with each passing moment. In that gradual unveiling, you sense the teaching of clear insight. Truth is revealed not all at once, but in careful layers, each one illuminating what lies beneath. You allow your own awareness to peel back each layer of sleep's haze, uncovering the pristine clarity beneath. Outside, a lone lark's trill weaves through the bamboo canopy, its melody rising and falling like the ebb and flow of your breath. You merge with its song. Inhale as the note ascends, exhale as it fades away, until the boundary between sound and silence, you and the world, dissolves completely. In that seamless unity, you taste the teaching of boundless simplicity. All things arise together in a single living moment. Your body, cradled by the futon's gentle embrace, softens further as the last threads of tension dissolve into the earth's silent support. You rest in the teaching of complete yielding. To surrender fully is not to vanish, but to become one with the foundation of all life. Each breath becomes both surrender and support, guiding you onward into the infinite ocean of pure rest. And still you rest. Now, in this final unfolding of restful awareness, you sink into the tender embrace of pure being. No words remain to guide you, no images to hold you, only the silent river of breath, carrying you deeper into the boundless expanse of presence. With each inhalation, you draw the warmth of morning's promise into the quiet chamber of your heart. With each exhalation, you release every last trace of tension into the great ocean of stillness that cradles you. Here in the space between breaths, You feel the gentle pulse of life itself, a soft beacon illuminating the infinite horizon of your own awareness. There is nowhere left to journey, no destination to reach, only the luminous, now unfolding without effort or intention, as natural as dawn's first light. You rest in the fullness of this moment, where every inhale and every exhale become one continuous flow, weaving the exquisite tapestry of existence without beginning or end. Allow the depth of this calm to seep into every cell, nurturing you with the quiet strength of roots that drink deeply from the earth. Let it fill you with the gentle certainty that this peace is ever present, waiting within whenever you choose to return. Here beneath the soft veil of dawn, you dwell in perfect ease, held by the silent wisdom that all things arise and pass away within the tender arms of awareness. As you drift beyond the borders of form, beyond the last echo of thought, you merge with the infinite field of rest that has always been your true home. And if you're still awake, that's okay too. Some nights, just lying still and breathing softly is enough to return home to yourself.